What if I told you that one of the most terrifying horror movies ever made didn't just scare audiences, it may have cursed everyone involved with it? Before the whispers, before the deaths, before the fires, accidents, nervous breakdowns, unexplained injuries, and stories that Hollywood still avoids talking about, there was just a book. A disturbing novel inspired by a real exorcism case. But the moment production began on The Exorcist, something changed. People on set started getting hurt. Actors suffered emotional collapse. Crew members died unexpectedly. A mysterious fire destroyed almost the entire set, except for the bedroom where the exorcisms were filmed. And perhaps the strangest part of all, many people involved in the movie believed something was actually there. Not metaphorically, not psychologically, something real. For decades, The Exorcist has been surrounded by rumors of demonic influence, hidden symbolism, subliminal imagery, paranormal phenomena, and behind-the-scenes events so disturbing that even hardened horror veterans refuse to discuss them openly. Some claim the production became a magnet for negative energy. Others believe the film accidentally crossed a line that movies were never supposed to cross. And when you start digging deeper into the cursed history of horror cinema, one pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Certain films don't just tell terrifying stories. They seem to carry something with them. In this investigation, we're not doing a normal movie breakdown. We're entering the disturbing mythology surrounding one of the most infamous productions in cinema history. The accidents, the alleged hauntings, the psychological manipulation, the religious panic, and the bizarre chain of events that transformed The Exorcist from a horror film into a cultural curse. Because once you connect all the pieces inside the most cursed movies ever made, you begin to realize The Exorcist may not have been an isolated case at all. And before we go deeper into this rabbit hole, take a second to ask yourself something. Why are we still talking about The Exorcist more than 50 years later? Thousands of horror films have come and gone. Most disappear, but this one never left the cultural subconscious. People still report feeling disturbed after watching it. Some refuse to rewatch it alone. Others believe certain scenes contain something genuinely wrong beneath the surface, something that goes beyond filmmaking. So if you're fascinated by cursed movies, hidden Hollywood history, paranormal investigations, disturbing true stories, and the dark side of horror cinema, this channel was made for you. And if you're enjoying this kind of deep dive investigation, leave a like on the video. It genuinely helps Shadow Reel reach more people obsessed with mysterious cinema, forbidden productions, and unexplained stories hidden behind classic films. Also, I want to hear from you. Have you ever watched a movie that felt wrong? Not just scary, but emotionally heavy, unsettling, almost cursed? Comment below with the film that gave you that feeling. And subscribe to Shadow Reel, because this investigation is only one piece of a much larger pattern. The deeper we go into the most cursed movies ever made, the darker these stories become. The strange thing about The Exorcist is that the fear surrounding the film didn't begin after audiences watched it. It started during production itself. And the deeper you look into the behind-the-scenes history of this cursed movie, the more it stops feeling like coincidence and starts feeling like a pattern nobody could control. At first, everything seemed normal. William Friedkin was known for being obsessive, intense, and completely committed to realism. He wanted the movie to feel raw, invasive, almost documentary-like. No exaggerated gothic atmosphere, no theatrical horror. He wanted people to feel like evil had entered an ordinary home. And maybe that creative decision is part of what made the production spiral into something so psychologically disturbing for everyone involved. Because almost immediately, things started happening. One of the most infamous incidents was the fire that destroyed the McNeil House set. Nearly the entire interior burned down unexpectedly during the night. Production had to stop for weeks. But what terrified people wasn't just the fire itself. It was the detail that became Hollywood legend afterward. The only room left untouched by the flames was Reagan's bedroom, the exorcism room, the coldest and darkest space in the entire production. People on set began whispering that the movie was cursed, and once that idea entered the atmosphere, every new tragedy seemed to feed it. Actors and crew members started suffering injuries under bizarre circumstances. Ellen Burstyn permanently damaged her spine, filming a violent scene that remained in the final cut because her scream of pain was real. Linda Blair also suffered serious back injuries from mechanical effects used during possession sequences. Others described emotional breakdowns, nightmares, panic attacks, and an overwhelming sense of dread that followed them home after filming. Then came the deaths. By the time the movie was released, multiple people connected to the production had died unexpectedly. Some were cast members. Others were relatives of actors and crew. In another film, isolated tragedies like these might have gone unnoticed. But inside the growing mythology of The Exorcist, every death became another piece of evidence. Another confirmation that something around the film felt wrong. And what makes this story even darker is the psychological effect it had on audiences in the 1970s. Reports spread of people fainting in theaters, vomiting during screenings, suffering anxiety attacks, even running out of cinemas in terror. Religious groups condemned the film. Some claimed it opened spiritual doors. Others believed the subliminal imagery hidden throughout the movie had a hypnotic effect on viewers. Whether those stories were exaggerated or not almost doesn't matter anymore, because fear itself became part of the film's identity. The legend consumed reality. That's what happens with cursed media. The boundary between fact and myth begins to dissolve. And maybe that's why The Exorcist still feels dangerous today. Not because of jump scares or graphic imagery, but because it taps into something ancient, the fear that evil is not fictional, not symbolic, but present, watching, waiting quietly beneath ordinary life. Even now, decades later, there are actors who avoid discussing the production in detail. Horror fans still debate whether the set was genuinely haunted. Paranormal investigators continue analyzing the unexplained events connected to the film. And the more you research the dark history behind classic horror cinema, the more you realize The Exorcist was never just a movie. It became a cultural ritual, a cursed artifact wrapped in celluloid. If this story gave you chills, comment the word possession below. I want to know who else feels that some films carry an energy that stays with you long after the credits end. But what happened during Poltergeist may have been even darker.